Hey guys, Be Twice here. Today is Sunday, August 22nd. I hope everybody is having a really good weekend. This may be one of the last charts that I put out this weekend. We will see, but I wanted to make sure I put this one out at least because it looks that good. There's a lot of people talking about Roku right now, especially on Twitter. This one's been on uh, my watch now for a tiny bit just because obviously it's been getting decimated with the rest of grow stock. So we're going to take a look at the macro count um, and potentially where it could be going, and then we're going to jump into the micro count and where it could potentially be going. Um, so with that being said, so going back, looking at the weekly chart, what we can see right now is that we've popped up for a cycle wave one, pulled back for a two. We rallied up for a cycle wave three. We've pulled down for a four, and we bottomed at the 50% retracement. That's really the maximum spot you want to see a wave four bottom. Um, so we also have this weekly trend line that I've drawn, and this is so I wanted to go over the macro count. So we have this weekly trend line that we have not broken going back to the COVID lows, and look where we stand right now on Roku. We're going back right now to test it. I also have the 50-week moving average on here, and look where it's at. So the 50-week moving average, it looks like we've come down and almost touched it last week. Um, and we're very, very close to this uptrend line. So what are we seeing? Well, it looks like we've seen a five-wave move up and we've gone up for a primary one, and that we're pulling down for a primary two. Um, so from there, after we have another impulse to the upside, it looks like our wave three price target could be about upper 600s, and it looks like we'll finish off the cycle wave five somewhere in the 700s if this holds true. So now let's talk about the RSI that we're looking at for a bit. So it looks like we're hitting some support on the RSI, so we should be bottoming. I don't think that we'll break beneath that, so we should be seeing an uptrend here this week. And then we also have this downtrend on the RSI that we've seen. Now look at this. Look at this peak for what was all-time highs for the cycle wave three, and ultimately went up and broke it. When we went up and broke it for our wave one, see how we had bearish divergence. So there was a huge sign right here that obviously uh, we were able to pop it up a little bit, but then we broke back beneath it. So it was a sign showing that there was a flush coming. So with that being said, there's the macro look and where we could potentially be going. But bulls, you really need to hold this trend line right here. On a trend line break to the downside, it is possible that this is our wave five peak and that we're not extending into wave five. And if that's the case, then there's going to be some significant downside, maybe taking us into the 200s again. So bulls, you really need to hold this level right here. And that's why a lot of people are talking about Roku because it's kind of at a make or break spot. So let's see the micro chart. Okay, so on the last chart, I had a green dotted line drawn where I was showing my arrow for where I think the next impulse is going to take us. I think it's going to take us to 390. Now, let's talk about how we got to where we're at and what we're seeing and why I think we're going to go to 390. Um, so from our primary wave one, what we've seen is we've seen a zigzag to the downside. We had a five-wave move down for an A, we popped it for a B, and now we had a five-wave move down where it looks like we're trying to find our bottom for our wave C right now. It could already have been set. So I have the volume profile over here. So it looks like we're right on this strong support. We're right on this point of control of the volume shelf. So we really need to hold that level. So it looks like we may have bottomed late last week. Um, from there, I expect us to rally and pop up to the next biggest spot where we'll run into some resistance because I think we're going to break above 370, and that's why I drew this dotted line right here as 390 is my price target for the next impulse to the upside. I think that's where our wave one is going to top. So I think we're going to see a five-wave impulse up. We're going to top for our wave one somewhere around 390, then we'll pull back for a two, and then ultimately we'll impulse to the upside to take us up to all-time highs. So one of the other good things that I'm seeing here right now is the fact that we have some bullish divergence on the RSI. So mind you, right now we're looking at the 2-hour chart. Um, I don't really need to have the moving averages on here now, so I'll take that off. But basically, what we're seeing is that we're starting to see some bullish divergence where we had new lows set on Friday, but we didn't make new lows on the RSI. So we had our RSI here, where we were oversold, and now we're starting to trend up. So that's a really good sign. So I would expect that there's going to be probably some heavy buying to start the week off, and we make it a real pop to the upside. If we can break above uh, the 355 range, I would expect this thing to really start moving. So this is one of the better looking charts this week. So hopefully the indices won't completely dump because if they do sell off, then we could be seeing some more downside. But I really like this name over the next couple weeks. All right, guys, if you like these videos, go ahead, hit a like and subscribe.